Hi everyone and welcome back to the Self-Love Sanctuary, where we celebrate the magic that is you. I'm Tahina.
And I'm Yane, and today we're going to be talking about friendships. All the different kinds of friendships, how important friendships are,
Yes.
and how difficult it can be to maintain friendships
As an
in
adult,
adulthood.
it's not that easy because friends know you on a deeper level. I feel like a little bit more deeper than romantic relationships.
Right. I always say, I feel like friendships take more sometimes than relationships.
Absolutely.
Especially to maintain those friendships throughout the years.
Yeah.
Because you're growing, the differences.
No, for sure. I feel like, but there's also different categories to friendships.
Yes.
I feel like not everyone is like turnkey exactly what it needs to be. I feel like every friend will fulfill a specific need.
Yeah.
Because then you have like, for example, your close friends, so your circle.
Yeah.
People who you hang out with on I would say like on a not super regular because we're adults.
But at least speak on a daily basis.
Yes.
Or at least regularly.
Yes.
Yeah, regularly.
And then you have your lifelong friends, which are I would say childhood friends.
Yeah.
Friends that you've had for pretty much who have seen different types of épocas or
Eras.
different eras of you.
Different
for sure.
eras of you.
Absolutely. And then you have your work friendships because it's impossible not to make friends at work.
Right.
Because I feel like you're there so much that, you're going to chit chat.
And it always starts as acquaintances, but then I feel like you can build friendships.
Those are a little scary. We'll talk a little bit more about those. And then you have your same chapter of life friends. So at the same frequency and vibration that you're at, that where you will attract the same people.
And for me as a mom, the mom friends.
And
those are so important.
Yes.
So important.
They relate to you on another level, yeah. For
they
sure.
understand you too.
Yeah. And then you guys can help each other with things that, for example, a new mom or a mom who's been doing it for a while, here's some tips and tricks, or here's some for example, I didn't know that there was so much when you have a baby. I didn't know that there was the pumping and different types of pumps. I heard Yana talking about it, and I was like, there's different types of pumps? A whole new world that I didn't know, but I'm grateful for my mom friends.
Yep, you got me now.
Yeah. And then there's casual friends, which I feel like
you could have a lot of casual friends.
Yeah, like friends you go out with sometimes. And then the difference between long-term versus short-term friendships, which are, I don't know, what would you rate a short-term friendship?
I don't know. I feel like short-term friendships can have sometimes a huge impact or sometimes even bigger than long-term friendships.
I mean, for me, I feel like I have friends in different categories.
Okay.
So, especially in this era of my life, I've had to learn that not every friend is can help you with everything.
Right.
I have, for example, the friend that I'm going to tell everything to, the one that I really go to when I have an issue. Then I have my fun friend, which the one I'll go out with, party with, but it's not really
at that deeper level where you can just pour it out
or they're not going to understand me. I also have the friend where I'll work out with, or I have the friend that we can chit chat about nonsense, nothing of value. And then you have my core friends, which are the friends that I'm gonna go for anything. And even within my core friendships, I feel like there's still some I would tell something to and the other one I won't. And the only reason why is because it depends on the advice that I know I'm gonna get. So,
okay.
Which sounds weird, but if I want someone who's gonna give it to me straight, I'll go to one specific friend.
Same.
And if I want someone who's gonna probably try to be more logical, then I'll go to another friend. Because I know that her perspective is gonna be very textbook, very how, why, when, where, who, right? And then I have my other friend who's more psychological, where she's gonna really it's kind of like a therapist. She's really gonna, how can we and why, but have you thought about yourself and just a little deeper. And then I have the super brutal honest friend who's known me for pretty much my entirety of my life since I was a baby, who will tell me, listen, you've never done these decisions, what's going on now, who's going to give it to me, very core, because she's known me since I was a kid. So I think that in my core friendship, there's different people I'd go to for different things. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
yeah.
I feel like each friend fulfills a need. And it's not bad to have categories for friends, because not every one friend can be that full on friend for you.
Or just understanding you in certain situations that they haven't gone through in life yet either, you know?
And a lot of them don't really, like, I would say a lot of friends, and I've seen this through my lifetime of friendships, right? I've seen that not every friend can give you what you're looking for. As in, like, some friends can't water you in the way that you're looking for them to water, because they can't, either they don't understand it, or either they've, you know, like you said, never been through it, or really can't relate. And they'll try, but I feel like sometimes it's just not there.
Yeah.
But I think that as you become an adult and you start to just understand that not every friend can fulfill the need that you're trying to put it. Because when we're young, when we're in high school, you know, your best friend is your best friend.
Yes.
You know, for
like ride or die.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I feel like once you become an adult, I feel like you start to see that that's not the case for everything. Like, you can have a best friend and that best friend can fulfill needs, but as you make more friends, like at work or just throughout life, and same chapter friends type thing too, I feel like each friend at the end of the day is going to fulfill you an individual need in you.
And not just fulfilling, but also you start growing and you want different things in life too. You know, so that is also a tough one when you see, like, does this friend still serve me? You know, like
friendship breakups, which are, you know, they can be very tough. I feel like they can be a little harder than romantic breakups, because this person has known you deep, and
like levels.
And I'm not saying that you don't get deep in your romantic relationships, but I feel like I've gotten deeper with my friendships than I've ever gotten in a romantic relationship.
They know who you are.
Yeah.
Like, plain and simple, good and bad, ugly, pretty times. Like, they know who you are. And when you start a relationship, it kind of takes time for your partner to peel back all those levels.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard. I mean, it holds a lot of memories. But you just got to learn that not all friendships are forever.
No. And I think it's still, no matter how long you've been going through it, or how old, or, you know, we are in our age, or whatever, it doesn't matter. I feel like it still feels like hard every single time that you lose a friend that you thought you'd have for a while, because the same thing happens. I feel like you create a life with them, and a future, and the thoughts of a future with that friend, and it doesn't end up, you know, happening. And it sucks, because I also feel like I feel violated in a way, because we're breaking up and you have all my secrets, and that to me is dangerous territory.
It is,
because I'm like, you have a lot of information that I was vulnerable enough to tell you, and now we're no longer friends. Every time you share a secret, that's no longer your secret. Now it's that person's secret. Yours and that person, and now they can share it with whoever they want. So that's kind of how I feel like now in adulthood too. Like, if we have a friendship breakup, you have a bunch of my secrets, and now of course you're entitled to share them. And I don't know.
But I feel like that's also where you kind of see if, like, they were actually your friend.
Yeah.
Because you can have friendship breakups, and it doesn't mean that you guys weren't friends, or that you weren't a real friend. I feel like you can outgrow people, and things can happen that leads to the breakup. But that's kind of where you see, like, the value in that person too. Like, are they going to take it and run with it and not use it against you, or it's just kind of a secret that's going to stay with them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for me, I just think the friendship breakups hurt a little more because we're adults now. And it's so much harder to make friends.
It is.
Because we're all set in our own ways. So it's like, friendships, you gotta try in order to make friends.
So now you have to try, and you gotta try and make new friends when you go through, like, the friendship breakups. And kind of finding people who are at the same level as you. You know, with friends, like, you kind of grow together, and, like, yeah, you have differences, but you're still, like, you know so much about each other.
Exactly.
You know?
Now, this question, I want to see what you think about this. How do you make friends now?
I know you're laughing, but I don't.
I know. It's hard. I mean...
No, I do. I would say, for me, it's my job.
Yeah.
Because I see so many different people, and it's not just clients. Yes, I have a lot of clients, but a lot of those clients have become actual really good friends.
Yeah.
And for me, that's my way, because I feel like if you're sitting in my chair, in a way, we're compatible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%. Because you can't go to hairstylists or anybody to trust them with.
And it's not that I'm, like, yapping about my life with all my clients. No, but there's certain people that do come in as clients, and they end up turning into friends because we
Yeah.
share so many stories, we share so many conversations.
Yeah.
That's actually how you and I
Became friends.
became friends.
Yeah.
Was you coming and sitting in my chair.
Yeah, and we clicked. And it's true. It's like you really have to have that connection with someone in order to, it's true, to trust them not only with your hair or with your nails or whatever it is, you got to have the connection as well.
Yeah.
Because sure, I can go somewhere to get things done, but hate the person because they have such a nasty attitude and whatever. But when you click with them, it makes it that much more fun. Like, oh my God, I'm going to go do this today and I'm
Yeah.
going to see this person. And you get excited for all the things to come because you really click with the person. I think another way of making friends as adult is hobbies.
Yes.
Like,
Doing
it's like,
a lot of what you love.
yes.
And you're gonna find other people that.
And forcing yourself to just be a little more social. And I had to learn that. I mean,
I had to.
And I don't usually love to do that, but I just want to make friends in the same environment that I'm in and whatever.
And kind of show you welcome
Yeah.
friendship.
I didn't want my life to just be I only had coworker friends. I didn't want to be that person where you're like, oh my God, all your friends are just your coworkers.
And then outside of work,
you got nobody.
Yeah.
So I began to water my older friendships too, and also going places and making friends too was easy for me. And also my friends having friends, and then I ended up clicking with their friends who became more my casual friends and people we go out with, but nothing very, but it's just nice to have a group of friends. And I think that as making friends as adults, it's just kind of putting yourself out there. Same thing as a romantic relationship too. And also clicking and reading people well too is another one, because you don't want to just have friends and then they're
that's
not good
another
at
thing.
all.
And people ask me oh, you don't have a lot of friends, but I'm so big on energy.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather have one really good circle, whether that circle's 3 people,
Yeah.
than to have a bunch of.
Quality over quantity. Too. Growing up, I only had guy friends because I didn't really click with girls because it was a lot of drama, a lot of problems. Can women and men be friends?
Yes, but I feel that also depends kind of where you are in life too. Are they friendships, or it's more just they can become acquaintances where you speak every once in a while, but are you stepping out of your relationship to hang out with your guy friends? I don't know. I feel it's a yes and no.
So I got a male's perspective before I can make my decision. Is a lot of males can't be friends with women because they're thinking.
I feel that's a lot on your mentality though.
Yeah, it depends on the guy for sure.
On the guy, on the mentality, on you too as a woman, because some women you're friends with a guy trying to see where that friendship is gonna go, or if it can become more too. I feel it's both ways.
Yeah, for sure. But getting this male's perspective, he told me that it's hard for men to be friends with women because they want a little more. It's not just a friendship. They can have acquaintances, but you're not trying to hang out with this friend all the time if you don't have second intentions.
Right.
So in that case, I feel they can be friends, but I feel not too much. Acquaintances. We can hang out every now and then, in a group setting kind of thing. Cool.
Yeah.
But usually a lot of men and women can't be friends. I mean, at least in my past, I can say that I've had guy friends who I thought were my guy friends, but then end up having feelings for me.
And years long too.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna see how far he can get.
Yeah.
Which is, and it's so sad too.
Yeah, because you have an expectation of the friendship, and then it's not really. It was
not
never
really there, and then you do share a lot. Because I would share a lot.
Yeah.
And also getting a male's perspective on problems that I was going through,
And he was just in it for the long run. For hope that something would grow from that. Yeah, no. Now, can you be friends with someone who sees you more than a friend? Pretty much answers that question. If they're honest about it up front. I think no, because then you're giving someone false hope and you're leading them on.
That's where communication comes in. I feel.
But the person will always want more though. I feel no matter if you do keep the friendship, I feel secretly they're always gonna wish for more, and they're gonna think that maybe, just maybe, if they continue to be by your side, that your opinion may
and I
change.
feel that can also affect the way that they're a friend to you too.
Yeah.
When you express interest in somebody else, or just interest in anything where they might be jealous or feel some kind of way.
When you start to see somebody, they're not going to be so happy about it. And then now there's feelings involved, feelings that are hurt. Now you got to think about this person's feelings, which you obviously love as a friend, so you're going to try to conserve their feelings,
Right.
but then it just becomes for what, you know? I know that I don't want to see us be more than friends, so I don't want to be your friend while you feel that way, because it's just going to be a toxic cycle of, oh my God, I got to think about this person. I'm not hurting their feelings, but I don't like them, and I can't fulfill my romantic pleasures because I have to keep this person in mind, you know? Okay. I mean, I agree. I don't think that I can be friends with someone who sees me more than a friend, and I'm not reciprocating it.
Right, like you just see them as a friend.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
So now let me ask you. Can you be friends with an ex?
No.
Damn.
No.
Straight up.
There's multiple layers to that.
Do you feel like you personally can be friends with an ex, or you just can't be friends with an ex?
I just feel like you can. There's always gonna be that, and then spin around the block. I heard this last night when we were all discussing it. It was people. It's so much easier to spin around the block when you're friends with an ex, because why add a body count when you can just spin the block?
Yeah,
and that's why people do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like because you've already seen the definition of friends, when you Google it, has no physical intimacy. When you've been in a relationship, you've obviously had sex.
Right.
So obviously there's no way that we can be friends because we've had that physical component. So there's no way that we've already crossed the line.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to see you as such. So even if we try to be friends, and even if the breakup was amicable, you're still going to feel some type of way when your ex is dating someone, right? If you're friends. Or even if you've moved on, you're still going to be like, oh my God, you know, like, I just feel like, why have that friendship when it's already dissipated, it's done. Like, we've already went our own ways. Yes, you could spin around the block if you know, you're still friends with an ex. Then there's a possibility of getting back together. Then there's a possibility of getting your feelings hurt because that person's going to start dating someone else and now you have to see it. Or there's a possibility that this person's your friend just in hopes that you guys get back together. So I feel like it's just like it's muddy waters. It's too much.
Yeah, like when you speak of the actual true meaning.
And if you want to move in,
because sometimes you're in life, you're gonna have to deal with an ex.
Yeah, for sure. But
especially if there's kids involved.
But if you want to move on, I feel like there should be no friendship. I feel like if you want to move forward, especially with someone new, how do you think your person's gonna feel about you being friends with an ex? How would you feel if your person is friends with an ex? I personally wouldn't like it.
I feel like you can end things and be in good terms.
Yeah, and be amicable.
Like if I
see you in the street and you want to say something to me, fine.
But
to be texting and to be talking I think that's also not good for you when you need to move on and be with someone. Also, your partner's not gonna love that. And no partner, no matter if you're so secure, you don't care, no one is gonna love you talking to someone you've had sex with.
Right.
No one's gonna like that. So I feel like, to me, I don't think you can be friends with an ex. I feel like it's cloudy waters or murky waters.
It is cloudy.
And I feel like it's just kind of messy. I feel like just move forward. Like, it didn't work between us. It sucks, but you keep going. And you know, at the end of the day, you don't want to bring that type of baggage. We all have baggage, but that's not a fun baggage.
An ex for a reason.
Exactly.
They're an ex for a reason, yeah.
You can exit yourself out of my life.
I definitely think you could be like happy for an ex, right? Because you can be, and I feel like that comes also with your maturity level and just accepting that life took you guys in like different directions.
Yeah. Can you be friends with someone who is attracted to all your partners or your current partner or whatever, and they vocalize it?
I feel like no. I feel like it can be an insecurity, but then I feel like too is that person really a friend? I don't know.
I mean, to me, I don't know. I just feel like, what are you intent? Like, pretty much all my friendships now and in the past, I've only had like a few of where like, oh, your partner's hot or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really like that. But and
do you feel like that limits you? I feel like that limits you on like what you can tell that friend too.
Yeah, and depending what type of behavior how my friend behaves, and I probably wouldn't want to be friends with
that person. I was gonna say, I feel like that goes down to the friends that you choose.
Yeah, still stand on the thing where if this man is dating someone, he's not attractive to me. So I mean, I could say, yeah, he's good looking, sure, you know, as long as he's taking care of my friend, that's all I care about. And I mean, I just can't be attracted to any of my friends' man. And you know what's crazy too is none of the friends I've had pretty much that was more me when I was younger. Like where your
Younger.
friends are like, I think that's like a younger version, like people who want to date. But to me, I think that my friends and I don't have the same taste, and I love that. Like we don't, none of us, not one of us,
Not one of us.
not one of us have the same taste. Could you be friends with an ex?
Could I be friends with an ex? I'm not friends with any of my exes, but exes are exes for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, can we be acquaintances, or I see you in the street like we were talking about? Yeah. But to be friends,
Not really.
no. We weren't dating to be friends, you know what I
No.
mean?
What do you think about friendship breakups? Why do they hurt so much?
They do.
I feel like they
do.
hurt more than romantic relationships. I did say that in the beginning, but
'Cause
why?
I feel like you invest so many years of your life into that friendship.
Not
you
even
know,
sometimes I won't be even years.
Yeah, that's true.
But sometimes it's like,
I just feel like it's those moments that you share with friends. You know, like kind of like you lose like a part of you. And then that comes where like you have to understand like some friends are just here for a season.
oh my God, I love that
But
saying.
but it's true.
Yeah.
It's true, and I feel like you learn that as an adult when you're like, why am I losing so many friends? And you have to.
Yeah,
And it does, it hurts.
they're growing.
You literally feel like you literally lose a part of you.
Yeah, you're sad. I mean, I've had friendship breakups that hurt. And for me, it's because they know me on a deeper level. And to me, I'm someone who can never just, like, if we were friends for a while and I've known you for a while and, we have to be around each other, I can never ignore you. I could never I'm not that type of person. Like,
Yeah, I
people
know,
are like, well, F you, and I'm not going to give you any energy and whatever. But I've just always been the person that I'm like, I loved you so much, and I'm not just going to.
That's how I am. Because I feel like life is gonna throw so many curveballs at you and so many lessons and just so many life experiences that you both can go through that can really test your friendship. But like I say, like friends are so much more hardcore than a relationship, right? And like you fight to the core to save a relationship that you've only been in for like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Right? That sometimes you're letting go of friends because of your partner.
Yeah. Which is crazy too.
Which is so crazy. Like you're gonna get mad at your friend for one thing she did.
Yeah.
But you're still with your man who's been cheating on you.
Oof. But
you know what I'm saying though? Like I feel like obviously when you're younger, it's not easy, but it's easier to like let go of friends where you're like, oh whatever, fuck this bitch on, next, like she's not my friend, or like they did something that maybe hurt you, and then all of a sudden, oh, they're not your friend, bye. Yeah. But as an adult, like you understand, like shit happens, and I feel like it's also being more understanding, having more grace with people,
being able to communicate, because that's also a sign. If you can't communicate with your friend, like I'm not someone who can break up with my friend and not tell you why I'm breaking up with you, like maybe younger me. But if the other person, I'm the type of person who will still, like, I stand on this, where I will try to speak to you about it, just like I would in a relationship, where I will do my best to try to fix it. And if you're not reciprocating that, then so be it.
Yeah.
But I know with my being that I did my best and I tried my best. So I'm not going to leave feeling guilty or like, oh, I didn't try enough. No, now I know I tried enough. And when you want to round the block, or when you're ready to speak, then I'm probably not going to be, there's a big chance I'm not going to be there. Now, before we dive in a little deeper, is how do you feel about needy friends at our age? I don't love that.
Neither do I.
I'm very low maintenance friend.
Which is why I love my friends, like my small circle of friends. They're not needy at all. Yeah. They're not like those needy friendships that they need like that constant attention, the constant validation. Because that's tough. That's especially really as an adult. Like, and once you're building a family, you're a mom, now your kids is your whole life, your husband, like work, balancing it all, and then balancing your friendships. Like, I can't deal with needy friends. No. Or those friends who need all your attention, and the moment that you give attention to another friend, it becomes a problem. That's too much for me. Like, I'm not, I would say I'm low maintenance, but I'm like, at the same time, my one friend would beg to differ, because I always call her with some issue, but I feel like I just also don't, like, I've had an experience where someone wanted to talk to me so much, and then they got mad at me, and then they stepped away, but I was going through my own thing, so like I couldn't really be the friend that you needed me to be, because I had to figure my stuff out.
So I couldn't water you as much as you needed, but
Yeah.
it was like too much. It felt like I was in a relationship.
No.
Like a literal romantic relationship with
Yeah,
no
no.
benefits. So it was just much for me. So I kind of had to just navigate that one where I was like, whoa, this is like a lot for me. And I'm the friend who will like, you'll call me, I'll be there for you when you need me to. I forget to text back.
Oh yeah.
I'm the horrible. I will leave you on read.
Oh girl.
And not even on purpose. I have my read receipts. No, I read it, and I'm sorry. And I thought I responded. There's a big chance that I thought I responded, but I didn't. I'm also a very dry
Same.
texter. Like I'm like, okay, and it's like, okay. Like she's more loving of a text. She's like, hi, Fry, like, hey, and I'm like, hi, good morning.
Yeah, I'm like,
Fuck, it's just what's up her ass. No, but I'm having a great
but
time.
I know, but I know that's how she is.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean?
I'm not very, so I'm loving, but I feel like when it comes to needy friendships, I'm probably not the best fit for someone who's needy. I think I need someone who we can reciprocate the love and stuff, but like also like you have your own life. I think for
You respect each other's lives. I feel like when you're
Yeah.
growing, like as you grow and you go into different eras of your life,
yeah.
you need to understand like life happens and it doesn't mean you guys are not friends. The same way I say like, because people are like, oh, like do you even have friends? You guys never hang out. And it's like you don't have to hang out
Every day.
every day or even often because there's my best friend. I barely see her.
Yeah.
But I know to the core, like, she's the first one I call and I'm the first one she calls when
Yeah.
something is up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and we're there for each other. And I feel like that's what matters. Like, a true friend is the friend that you know is going to answer that phone call when
Yeah.
you need them.
Yeah, and then, I feel like you have to be there for your friends. You have to water them too. The best that you can, but at this point we are older.
Check
we have relationships.
Check in on your friends.
Yeah, we have relationship, we have children, we have things to do, so sometimes there's not really much time, but as adults we all plan dates too, like as friends, like my friends and me will plan a date even though it's 3 months in advance.
Yeah,
we'll
but
plan
you
it,
do
put
it.
it in the calendar, and you do it. You make the effort and you try. I do think that you have to respect your friend's life though, and like there has to be healthy boundaries, especially with a needy friend. And I'm not saying if you're a needy friend it's terrible. I'm just saying like
There has to be boundaries.
there has to be boundaries. Just understand that some of your friends go through things silently. Like, you might be needy. You might say, oh my God, they're not talking to me as much. They're not as available to me. But just understand that that friend who's not available to you might be going through their own personal things that they have to go through by themselves. So just understanding that too.
Yep.
And having healthy boundaries.
Friendships.
This goes for friendships, relationship, any relationship. I feel like when you guys are fighting, you should always know it's the problem in the middle and you guys against the problem. We forget that sometimes and we'll go against each other instead of us against the problem. We'll go at each other's neck and then the problem is still there.
Still there.
We're arguing about the argument. And then what solution was there? None. So I feel like a lot of friendships are lost because of that. A lot of friendships are also lost because of envy.
Envy and
not
a lot
having
of
true
a
friends.
lot of friendships that you think are friendships and it's people that have kind of just been riding the wave because maybe you give something that they need from you.
Energy takers.
Energy takers are not just energy, but the way that they can use you or where you can
Friends by
benefits like what they can get from you, and then the moment that you say no or the moment that you can't give them what they want,
they're
Gone.
disinterested. Yeah, you're disposable.
So that's when you're like, were you really a friend?
No.
And I've had to learn that a lot.
Yeah.
Because especially like I said in my career,
Yeah.
aside from people that I meet and that I've actually become friends with, there's a lot of people that have wanted to be my friend.
Yeah.
Because of what they can get from me.
Yeah.
What they can get from me, and for me it was like, oh, can you do my hair? Can you, and everything was just like for hair, right?
That's insane.
So then one day I was just like, hold on a second.
You're being used.
Because if the day of tomorrow I couldn't do your hair anymore,
Would we still be friends?
would I hear from you at all?
Probably not.
No, the answer was no.
Wow.
Because the moment I said I couldn't do it,
It became an issue.
it became an issue.
People are just insane.
And I've heard that a lot too. And
No, it's
a lot
normal
of,
for people to use people, and that's sad.
I've heard that
I
so
hate
much.
to say normal.
I know, because I've heard so many stories of like friendships where I literally stay like with my mouth open. Friendships of 10 years, 11 years, and over the smallest thing, completely different person.
Yeah.
The moment that you put your foot down and set a boundary.
Yeah. People don't like boundaries because they probably didn't respect you in the first place. If your friends, and like I said, I've had long-term friends, childhood friends, and obviously we're not the same people that we used to be. There has been boundaries that had to be set, and it can be a little uncomfortable, but if you love someone and you know it's for the greater good and you want to cherish the relationship and harvest it, you're going to do what you need to do to make sure as long as you're happy and the other person's happy, and you guys are doing for the better purpose of the friendship, obviously, not because of one friend benefiting more than the other.
No.
But I feel like we have to just do better in knowing who we're having in our life, and this kind of goes into the let them theory that we spoke about on episode 2. But you have to know when you are screening people not to let them in so openly. Know that it takes time to truly get to know somebody.
Yep.
That you can't just tell everybody your problems, all your private stuff. Like I've seen people just word vomit all over new people they just met, and then those people will turn around and talk shit.
Because they're people that just see the good in everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that you can just trust people, but you learn who you can.
By those terrible experiences, you'll learn. And by those horrible friendship breakups, the he said, she said, the talking crap, you'll learn that maybe take your time, just as you would in a relationship, to get to know someone and let it grow naturally. If the vibe is right, if you feel it, then go with it. I feel like I like to go a lot with my intuition and my feels to the right relationships. If I feel something off, I'm not going to pursue it.
Right.
And I've been that person where they tried to make me like this one girl, my friends. They tried so hard, and I was like, man, maybe I'm being a dick. Like, maybe I'm just, not being very nice. I was right at the end. Put me in some whole drama problem, and I was right at the end. She never liked me, and I didn't like her because I can feel the energy wasn't.
You can feel it.
Wasn't true. It was false. It was very like she wanted to be my friend just for benefit. It wasn't like I want to be your friend because I want to be. I just want to. We vibe. That's the best way to say it.
That's it. And like I say, friends, real friends, people who actually love you, will support you.
No matter what.
And will tell you when you're about to fuck some shit up, or when you are not making the right decision, they will tell you.
And with that being said, guys, pick those friendships correctly, thoroughly. Screen your friendships. See the flags, just as you would in a relationship. See if this person is really your friend. Like, you can see it by just their actions. Actions always speak louder than words. No matter what they say, your actions will always speak louder than words. And that doesn't go to say if your friend can't hang out with you all the time or be at your beck and call. No, but it's just saying, are they really truly trying to do the best for me? Are they really giving me advice that is, concrete? And there's also like with categories of friends, whose advice you're taking, because a lot of advice can be coming from envy. A lot of advice can be coming from just not the best place for you, just where you
or where there's people like that saying that people want to see you do good, but never better than them.
Yes, that's a good saying. And with that being said, we're gonna wrap up this week's episode that just by saying this one thing: if they don't want to be in your life, if they don't add value to your life, they don't love you and you can feel it and see it, then it's okay to let them go, whether they've been your friend for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
You got to make space for bigger and better, and life will bless you with great friends, and
the ones that you need.
So on this week's Words of Wisdom, at some point you have to realize that some people can stay in your heart but not in your life. Beautiful, right?
I love that.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Self-Love Sanctuary Pod. We're extremely grateful for you guys.
Thank you for tuning in.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow the Self-Love Sanctuary Pod. You guys can catch the video on YouTube, and you can find us on Spotify and Apple.
And make sure to leave a review.
Yeah. So more people can find it. And remember, the